Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another capsule series selection. Today, I want to go over a particular topic that in my eyes deserves a little bit of attention. And what I'm going to call this particular topic today is the Chanel paradox. Now for me, designer fragrances are not always my go-to or my reach for, but Chanel as a brand has always been one of those fragrance brands that has elevated the sense of designer fragrances in my eyes. But for me, I'm asking the question now, has Chanel given up on designer fragrances, especially in the masculine realm? Has Chanel died and killed off its fashion brand as far as a designer fragrance for men? Today we're going to get into the 4 that I have in my collection. I've had 5, but these 4 are the ones that remain. And we'll get into those particular fragrances and then ask the question, is Chanel ever going to release another masculine fragrance? If this sounds like the type of content you think you'll enjoy, pull up a seat, pour a glass, and of course, let's enhance. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Dry Down, the lifestyle channel where we as enthusiasts aspire to enhance and elevate our olfactive sensory experiences through the understanding of the different aromas, facets, and nuance of scent, cigars, and wine. I'm your host, Chris. Welcome to today's experience. We're going to get into a topic today that I think deserves a bit of attention as stated. Chanel has not released a great fragrance for the masculine skin since 2018, in my opinion, which was Eau or the Chanel Parfum edition of Bleu de Chanel. That was a particular scent that went off quite well. It was a scent that I purchased and ran through a bottle of. I've had that in my collection and rather enjoyed it, but I've also noticed that fragrances coming out of the house from Chanel are mainly in the Premier line, which are unisex fragrances mostly. And in the designer line, they haven't released anything of note for men, and I don't think in the women category as well. So I'm going to go over the fragrances that I have and what I enjoy about them, but still ask the question, has Chanel killed off its designer fragrances for men? First off, we're going to get into Platinum Egoist. Platinum Egoist is one of those clean fragrances. It's really a business leisure scent that has a great profile to it. It's built off of a great lavender accord, some peppery spices, some clary sage. It's a very herbaceous, aromatic scent, has some woody tones, very musky, an elevated scent that really was brought forth from Chanel to elevate their designer line. It's a scent that I greatly enjoy, a scent that I think everyone that's a masculine, that enjoy masculine clean fragrances over the age of 25 should put in their arsenal to have as a business and leisure fragrance. This is a great scent. Like I said, clean, musky, woody, a bit herbaceous, a bit spicy, but at the end of the day, it's a great fragrance for anyone to have as a signature scent as well. And that is Platinum Egoist from the house of Chanel, number 1 that I enjoy about this house greatly. Next up, we're going to talk about a fragrance from Jacques Polge. Jacques Polge made a lady killer. This was once deemed as one of the best panty droppers on the market, and it is a very good tonka bean scent that is spicy, peppery, long-lasting. It had a great peppery nuance in the mid along with the clary sage that really made this one of the best smelling fragrances from Chanel's line of fragrances for men. Even when you smell it from the bottle, this is the second bottle of this one actually. This was one that I had in my gym bag and actually broken and didn't was angry about, but had to go replace it that same day. But nonetheless, this is one of those fragrances that are very classic in its tonality for a masculine skin. It has a sweet white musk, sandalwood, cedar, a great pepper accord, like I stated, with the clary sage mid that is always a great calling card for Chanel fragrances. And then it opens up with this wonderful, lush, fruity nuance of mandarin orange, a bit of a minty accord that's subtle but it's there, and then a cypress that's a woody tone to open up and make it a great masculine fragrance for any leisure setting, business setting, and even a night out setting. This is one of the best lounge / date night / party scents that you can purchase right now, especially if you're in the age of 23 to 40. You want to get this fragrance in your arsenal because it's one that radiates about 3 to 4 feet. It's a beast mode fragrance and it smells fantastic. Once again, Allure Homme Sport, Eau Extreme. So next up, we're going to continue off into that line of fragrances, the Eau Extreme, the Allure fragrances. Allure was an addition that came out, I believe, in the 90s. Allure Homme is one of the best fragrances from my formative years. That was one of the best fragrances on the market. There's a fragrance out that goes from Xerjoff Uden that kind of has that appeal. Actually, frankly, it's about a 90-95% match in my opinion the way it smells. So this is a great fragrance, and I have 2 bottles of that, so I didn't see the appealing reason to go out and purchase a newer bottle of the Allure Homme. But it's a addition to my great collection that I would have and always keep is Allure Homme Edition Blanche. This is one of the best limited accords in perfumery, niche, independent, luxury, premier, whatever you want to call it. This has one of the best mids with a limited accord that you can find on the market. Super clean, super just classy. It's almost like one of the best sensual summer scents as well, because it has the Allure tonality, which is that musk, clean tonka bean, amber, bourbon, vanilla, and cedar wood in the base that comes up with a prominent accord in the mid of New Caledonian sandalwood. A leather, a bit of a soft suede leather is in this one. There's a nuance that people pick up on that I think is enjoyed greatly for the summertime, and as well as that forever present lemon. And I don't know why when making fragrances like this, they can't bring more into either the collection of the Allure Homme, which would be a redundant release of something I would like to see them bring out a whole new fragrance, but adding a flanker to this particular line would be a great addition for that company to do, because there's a market for them to come out and do so. I can understand this is one of the best fragrances for summertime. This is a top 10 fragrance for any summer collection in my honest opinion. A great scent, very alluring, very sexy, very sweet. Not very sweet, but just the nice tonality of tonka sweetness along with the cedar wood and white musk sweetness that comes off phenomenal. Again, Allure Homme Edition Blanche, a fantastic summer fragrance. Next up, we have the King of Blue, or was once, enthralled as the King of Blue. And that's the thing about it. You kind of find these fragrances, in my opinion, have come out, and this is another one. And I have a very big problem with dropping Blue de Chanel, but I have this bottled in another another flacon that I had to get, another one that I dropped and had to rescue, and I dropped this one. I had it for a week. Nonetheless, I digress from that. Something about me and Chanel fragrances like to hit the ground. But Bleu de Chanel was the pinnacle and still has some of the essence on the top. That's the crazy part. Bleu de Chanel was and still is the pinnacle in blue fragrances. We all can agree with that. It has some of the greatest four-season popularity of any fragrance. It's a true definitive signature scent, and that's because it has a great smoky incense accord surrounded by fantastic woodiness and a beautiful citrus and pink pepper with a grapefruit citrus accord. So it has these very fresh citrusy woody accords with a nice spice and aquatic feel to it that goes fantastically. Now I know that they took this fragrance, Bleu de Chanel, and made two different flankers. Not flankers, but more or less a formulation of concentration. And each one of those subsequently became better and better. I enjoy each iteration of this scent, and particularly my favorite was the Eau de Parfum. It was such a smooth fragrance, such a beautiful scent cloud that I wore it the entire bottle out. That one took me about a year to wear because I wore it consistently in every single gym visit and every office visit almost for a year straight. So I wore that bottle out. And it was a great contemporary smelling, modern, fantastic scent that really enveloped the room, really gave you a sense of confidence, and it was really sensual and sexy smelling. So Bleu de Chanel has always been one of those darling fragrances for me in my collection to have. And so I asked the question now, and I asked Chanel greatly, when are you guys going to come out with a new fragrance? Why has it come that I asked a fragrance of a premier designer fragrance house? And I know that you have great in-house perfumers. I know that this brand does have great, and Jacques Polge is one of the best perfumers in the game today, especially when it comes to in-house perfumery. So why haven't you guys released a brand new fragrance for your brand? That is the Chanel paradox for me. I know that there is a commerce platform for them to explore. I know that these are just, there's a formulation out there for you guys to explore and bring the uniqueness to. I know there is for you. I don't know that you guys can bring out with a leather scent. And yes, I am talking directly to Chanel. If you watch this video and see it, come up with a new fragrance. I'm excited to see your brand bring out a new masculine fragrance. I'm excited to feel how that fragrance will come across, and I'm excited to see if you ever will do so. It's been since 2018 since you dropped the third flanker of Bleu de Chanel, and you hadn't dropped a fragrance since then. So I ask you, when are you going to come out with a new fragrance? You guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. The paradox of Chanel. I know you guys, do you agree with me? Do you agree that Chanel needs to come out with a new fragrance? Do you think that this fragrance line is complete and they don't need to have a care in the world about us men having new fragrances? What do you guys think? Drop some comments in the selection below. Let me know what you guys think about this particular topic. I enjoy Chanel greatly, and I was sitting there today watching a video, and I saw my collection. I'm like, man, I want a new Chanel fragrance, but I don't want to buy a redundant purchase from something I've already had. Why haven't they released anything new? So all in all, if you found anything entertaining or educational about this particular video and about my 4 favorite scents from the House of Chanel for Men, Platinum Egoist, All Extreme Allure Edition, and the Platinum, or not the Platinum, but the Edition Blanche of Chanel Allure, and then the commensurate, just the greatest blue fragrance, or one of the greatest blue fragrances to ever be produced, Bleu de Chanel. Drop a comment below, subscribe to the channel, send this off to a friend if they are interested in any content related to perfumery and fragrances and great content alike. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Ask the question, is Chanel dead? You guys have a good day. Peace.